everybody. Terrence Popp here with another episode from the Lair. And we're coming up at the end of the 9th ID stories. Again, this is more miscellaneous stuff. It's, stuff that pops in my head that, no pun intended, but it is what it is. When I showed up at 9th ID, I'd informed my platoon sergeant that I was going to become an airborne ranger, and I went through these, I did I did 3 different packets. I've already told the story. But I didn't know that one of the team leaders that I were to get down the road, I'm not going to use his name because he's kind of a cock, and I think he's a Georgia State Trooper now, I don't know. Probably long in the tooth, but he didn't like me, and I didn't know this at the time. But he had actually been in the Ranger Battalion at 2nd Bat, and he got sent down the road for some discipline bullshit that went on when he was in E4. So he had a chip on his shoulder, and he didn't like me at all because, I wanted to be an Airborne Ranger, and I told everyone I was going to be an Airborne Ranger, and there was some kind of animosity there. He was just a fucking dick. I hated his guts, and pretty sure he hated my guts too. Feelings were mutual. And it got to the point one time, I actually got in trouble for this. And not for the reason you would think, but I just had enough. I told him to fuck off, and we squared up. And, he's 40 pounds bigger than me. Caught me with a right, overhand right, boom. Fucking hit my head against the wall after my face bounced off of his fucking fist. Got stitches. I lost. They drive me to Madigan. I think I got six stitches in the back of my dome. And then I came back to get a company grade Article 15 from my platoon sergeant. And he says, "Pop, do you know why you're getting this Article 15? And I said, well, because I had a fist fight with my team leader. He's like, nope, you get it because you lost. I'm like, okay, 30 days extra duty, whatever. I hardly had any time off anyway, so fuck it. And he was my team leader when I was in Egypt. But he would put me in the front line and rest until I'd ask him to come up. And I'm going to fuck you. I'm not doing it. So there was a couple times where I'd literally be in the front line and rest for like an hour and a fucking half on the blacktop in South Camp in Sinai, fucking Egypt. It's fucking 130 fucking degrees. And that's not even on the fucking blacktop. Guy was a fucking dick. So anyway, fate has a kind way sometimes if you're patient. And so I went through the whole deal. I put it in my packets. I got selected for the Ranger Battalion. And I got sent down to go to RIP. Now, what they do back then, they would run RIP, which is the Ranger Indoctrination Program. And they would run ROPE, which is basically for NCOs who are former Airborne Rangers who wanted to come back to the Ranger Regiment. And there was just more of a gentleman kind of thing. They didn't yell at him or treat him like shit or anything. And lo and behold, it worked out. Like, he was on one set of chin-up bars, and I was right next to him. And I had the guy screaming into my face, blah, blah, blah. You had to do I think it was 8 chin-ups. This sergeant, my old team leader, he was bigger and stronger than me, but he wasn't proportionately strong to his body type anymore because, he got heavy. I kind of suffer from the same thing now, but I'm 49. So literally, I'm down there looking at him, and he's looking at me, and he got I think he got 5 chin-ups, and I'm at 5, and I'm going real slow. I'm like, oh, here we go. Oh, here we go. 6. And he's out there choking and struggling. I'm like, oh, here we go, yeah. And I literally did that I think I did 15 just to prove a fucking point. And the cadre knew there was some kind of animosity between this E5 and me, so they were eating it up like, oh, that's right. Oh yeah, you're gonna let the leg beat you there far? Oh, I think you are. He washed out. He didn't do his 8 fucking chin-ups. He got sent back to Lakeland, and I think he got out shortly thereafter. I think he became a Georgia State Trooper. I'm not sure. I don't know. It is what it is. It could have been just, testosterone and pride. Usually the recipe for most failures when you're young and stupid. But anyway, that was another one of those satisfying moments you have. And a lot of you guys out there, you probably, have some shit go on in your life. Bad shit happens. And a lot of times, if you just keep your head about you, remain calm, and fate has a way of throwing victory in your path, and maybe a good story along the way. Okay, another thing that from this one team leader, yeah, he was a dick, but I still teach soldiers these lessons that he taught me. So I would do these PT tests when I was a 9th ID, and I was an athlete in high school, played football, wrestled, so it was really not that big of a deal. One day, I was feeling a little sick, and I didn't put out, what I should have on the 2-mile run. So we come back, and he's like, "Pop, what's up?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just not feeling it. I'm sick." He goes, "Oh, you're not feeling it? You feel sick, huh?" "Well, you got a 64 on your run. I mean, you technically passed, so I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Run it a fucking again." And this team leader, it was like standard operating procedure. Every fucking PT test, I'd run the fucking 2 miles. It didn't matter how fast I ran it in. I have to run it again. So I knew in my head I'd take the PT test, push-ups, sit-ups, 2-mile run, get done, run 2 more miles. That's just how it was. So I kind of do that to some of my guys that I know they're sandbagging me, because I hate 60%ers. And there's no way in any fucking gunfight or any kind of conflict you're going to run into where you can only shoot 6 out of 10 people. Who accepts that? That's fucking stupid. You shoot 10 out of 10 people, you engage 100% of the targets, you do the best you can. So if you have to go down, the guys behind you that take your place know you did your best, and maybe, they have a chance of success and you don't. I mean, that's just me, but, I'm old school. All right, and then I had the pleasure of serving with Command Sergeant Major Kidd. Now, this is back when he was the I Corps Sergeant Major of 9th ID. He was quite a colorful character. He walked around, looked like a prune. Mean as shit, though, He was fair but mean, just like, most of the good NCOs I've known in the past. They're fair, they're mean, but, they're short-term mean and be long-term nice. And you didn't really know the lessons you were being taught at the time until down the road. First time I meet the Sergeant Major, we're up there in the training area, Engineer Ridge. I don't know, we're doing infantry tactics, driving around the Humvee, getting on, getting off, react to contact, going through all the standard infantry SOP bullshit. I was watching the radio, everyone else is out getting chow, and then we're going to rotate us out. I was in the back of the Humvee, and I heard the radio squawk, and I jumped down, get the radio, and I'm talking, and all of a sudden I had this horrible, horrible feeling. And I turn around, and there is Command Sergeant Major Kidd standing at the end of the Humvee, and he's holding my M16. I did not take my rifle out of the back of the vehicle. I just jumped down and grabbed the radio. Big fucking mistake. If your rifle is farther away than your hand can reach it, it's too fucking far. So we had this 4 or 5 second eye contact, and I knew I was fucked. He didn't say shit. He just took the rifle, gave me the salute, flipped it 180, slammed it into the mud up to the front sight post, right-faced, walked off, didn't say fucking shit. Not a goddamn thing. So I walk up there, pull my fucking rifle out of the mud, it's all fucked up, full of dirt. I can't leave it like that, so I pull up my cleaning kit, and I'm fucking cleaning the rifle. And one of my squad leaders comes up and goes, "So, I heard you met Sergeant Major Kidd." And I'm like, yeah. He goes, "I bet you never do that again." And he was right. It never fucking happened twice. Ever. If I had to be far enough away from my weapon, I couldn't fucking reach it. I had a dummy cord fucking tied to it. So nobody's going to run off with my fucking rifle ever fucking again. Second time I ran into him, I got put on a fucking detail because I was a fucking noob. And I was Sergeant Major Kidd's driver. I think there was 4 of us or 5 of us in the pool. We would drive a day and have 2 or 3 days off and drive again. And if he did not like you, he wouldn't fucking talk to you. He'd just fucking, whatever. And it was officers and whatever. If he didn't fucking like you, he didn't fucking talk to you, period. It doesn't matter if you're an E1 or a fucking general. If he didn't fucking like you, that was it. And you knew it. All right, so we would drive around, and he'd be like, "See that fucker over there? Goddamn smells like feet." I fucking can't be in the same room as that fucking major over there. God damn that guy. How the fuck did he get promoted? Fuck that guy. And that's just how he was. You know, he was brutal, honest, to the point. And, you know, if, you know, I didn't make it to sergeant major, I only made it to first sergeant. But, you know, if I ever became a sergeant major, that is a sergeant major, that would be like, because, you know, he was the real deal. And there's very few sergeant majors like that today. I know only very few. A lot of them are all officered out. They send them to schools. They do all the stupid bullshit. You know, I swear to God, they get a lobotomy when they walk across the stage for their E9 fucking rank. And then they pick a fucking ping pong ball out of a fucking aquarium with their fucking pet peeve. And most of them at 670-1, which is uniformed. I can't tell you how many times I've had sergeant majors come up to me and say, "Oh yeah, your shit ain't right, man." I mean, what the fuck? I've been doing this for, you know, I've been in the Army more than 20 fucking years. I know the fucking deal. If my shit's fucked up, there's probably a reason. I'll unfuck it. Thank you very much, Sergeant Major. So yeah, he was a good guy. I think he's still alive. You know, he's got to be coming up on 80 some odd years old now. How he lived this long is beyond me. I mean, I heard some stories about the guy back in the day. He was a fucking machine. But that's old school guys right there. That's old, you know, Vietnam, Cold War era fucking sergeant majors. Let's see, and this is another just a weird sergeant major story. And we're gonna move forward now to, you know, we jump forward to my second tour or my second war in, you know, Iraq. You know, I'm walking, you know, through this officer area, this hooch. I was stuck on this fucking bullshit detail. I'll go into detail in some future stories when I get there. But this one sergeant major had an 8x4 piece of plywood, had 2x4s around the fucking outside, and he had green grass growing in it. So I'm walking by and I'm like, holy fuck, green grass. So what do? Take off my boots, take off my blouse, put my weapon and shit down. I had my buddy right there watching it, and I lay in the grass. I was there maybe 2 fucking minutes. Fucking sergeant major comes walking out with his coffee cup. Who the fuck are you? What the fuck is your name and who do you work for? So by the time I made it back to the HQ back in fucking Abu, I got read the riot act by the sergeant major I was working for under, who was a fucking piece of shit, and he did 18 or 19 years in ground surveillance radar, and then they made him a sergeant major, and I laughed in his fucking face. But hey, that's just me. Anyway, just getting ready for the whole Christmas thing. I hope you guys have a good fucking holiday. Or if you had a good holiday, and if you're seeing this sometime around before New Year's, please don't drink and drive, don't drink and swim, wear rubber. And if you fight, don't go to the ground, never go to the jail alone. And don't fuck with shit if you don't know what it is, because that's how people get killed. Anyway, have a good evening. Talk to you later.